Hey guys, it's time for Final Book Round 11. What are we reading? Hey guys, if you are new here, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole. If this isn't your first rodeo, thanks for sticking around. So I already said that back in my TBR, I was going to film a completely separate TBR for Final Book Support Group, which is happening once again. For those of you who don't know what Final Book Support Group is, it is a readathon hosted by Steph over at Steph Loves that is really targeted to getting you to finish those series that you start. You know, the ones that we get into them, for whatever reason, we don't finish them. Sometimes you read the first book for another readathon's reading prompt. Guilty. And you go from there. So this really focuses on trying to finish up those series and get them off your shelves or to a place of honor on your shelves. Sometimes they are a weekend long. This one is actually going for a week. I am so excited because I barely get anything done on the weekends. But anyway, also for these, sometimes there are prompts and sometimes she just lets you read whatever you want to read to get your series completed. So this time, because it is a week long, she is including some prompts yet again. So I'm going to go ahead and post those. We're going to go through those and we'll see what we are doing for each prompt. Okay, so for these prompts, we have 9. Some of them aren't book related. They're like more self-care or more like goals to do with your social media. So the first one up is to read a TBR vet. Now this means to read hopefully a book that's part of a series that has been sitting on your shelf for longer than you'd like to admit. Obviously, because we know that March is my Shadow Hunter month to be getting through series. We are going to be picking up City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series. So we are going to be getting underway in that. Of course, this is the Descendants of the Angels. I don't want to give too much away because obviously I'm still reading all these books and this is like a sequel in it, but you basically have a world where all sorts of magical creatures and beings exist, demons exist, all sorts of, villainy as it were, and you have the descendants of angels taking up arms and becoming shadow hunters to protect mortals and other downworlders or supernatural creatures, as they call them, from anything that would try to be a little bit more sinister or cause chaos in the world. And so this is the newer generation from the Infernal Devices, which we've read, as well as the the Lost Hours series with the Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns that we were working on. But this is the Mortal Instruments. Yes, this is what the TV series is based off of. I watched like the first few and then I decided to stop watching it because I wanted to read the series first and then go back to it. So we are going to be picking up this for our TBR vet because I got the whole box set 2 Christmases ago. So it's been sitting and being ready to be read. So that is our TBR vet. Next up is our self-care prompt. And for this one, I am probably just going to do what I always do and maybe have a nice glass of wine or like put on a face mask or something like that. Just do a little self-care that way. Find a quiet spot and just read while doing that because that is my self-care. So we're going to do that. The next one is to take part in a sprint, which is obviously going to be happening. I know Stephanie is going to be hosting some of them. So just getting in there and participating in one of those and hopefully getting a lot of pages read during those sprints because I'm going to need them. Next up, we have an anticipated sequel. So obviously, because we are trying to do the Mortal Instruments, it's no wonder I warned you guys, I am going to be trying to add these to there. So we are adding book 3 to the Mortal Instruments which is City of Glass. Have no idea what's going to be in this one because it's going on the series. So it's just going to be a continuation of the series and it's an anticipated sequel because I have been anticipating getting this series done. So that's where we're going to fit it. Next up, we have a final book. as much as I would love to try to get my way all the way through Mortal Instruments to get to the final book, that is not probably going to happen. And so I need to pick up another final book that, you know, could have been a TBR vet because it's been sitting on my shelf. That is the final book in the Twisted series, Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This one is going to be the story of Christian Harper and Stella. If you've been following this series, you have Ava was in the first one, and she kind of finds love, and this is like her friends and who they meet, kind of their love stories as it goes on. So you have met Christian a little bit in book 2, which was Twisted Games. He's kind of got this, I think, almost ex-military bodyguard, private, you know, force, private security force thing going with the bodyguard from Twisted Games. And then you see him a little bit as kind of almost the CEO, really rich guy that owns the apartment building that Stella and her friend and roommate go to try to get in book 3, which was Twisted Hate, which was, so far, that was my favorite. So we're going to see how this one goes. It's going to be interesting to see because Stella, for the most part, has been pretty quiet in the series. But she, you know, and it's funny because she's supposed to be like a fashion influencer, but she's actually usually really quiet. But when she does speak up, you know, she's got some very poignant things to say. So it'll be really interesting to see what this series goes. And then we will be done with the Twisted series. So my final book. Next up is to read a graphic novel or a comic or a novella. And I decided to go novella on this one because, you know, we're going to try to keep the page count down and I don't want to start a new manga series. So I picked this up a while back and I'm going with A Kingdom of Gods in Ruin. This is kind of like a prequel novella to the Game of Malice and Greed. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you know that I've become a huge fan of Carolyn Peckham and Susan Valenti in their Zodiac Academy. I read like the first 2 books, and then you guys know I segued and went to the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac and absolutely like 5-starred every book in that series. Loved it. Still need to get back to Zodiac Academy, but this is another new series because, you know, nothing, you know, but it's like 95 pages and this is kind of like the prequel of it. And it just says, once upon a dark dream, the gods told me of our ruin, but I wasn't nearly as afraid as I should have been. The walls of my world are crumbling and it may be too late to save us. The clock is ticking and a cruel fate has been laid at my feet. And now I am standing at the crossroads with the blade of destiny in my grip. To strike would be to end us all, but staying my hand is not an option. So perhaps it's time to accept that my sins may cause the Fae to fall. And I'm like, color me intrigued. I'm in. We need to do it. It's 95 pages. So novella done. So next up we have to share TBR on socials. Well, obviously this video is going up as one way to share it, but I will probably be posting a video with the prompts kind of filled in with books and putting that out on like Instagram and the site formerly known as Twitter. Does anybody know how you're supposed to say that now? Because like nobody I know knows. Like, is it Twitter? Is it X? Is it the site formerly known as Twitter? Like, I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you guys call it. You know, if you use it, what do you call it? But anyway, that is where I will be posting some of my stuff. And then we are moving on to our next prompt, which is Continuation Station, which, no surprise, no surprise. Another Mortal Instruments book. We are going with City of Fallen Angels. I remember on the show, I can't remember her name. What is this? She's the sister, because there was like a brother-sister, and she was like badass and like fought with a whip, and like she was really cool. So I'm curious to see how cool she is in the books, but I liked her in this series. But yep, we'll be continuing with that. That is our continuation. And the last one is our poll pick, and I did put that out there for you guys, and I did some emojis, and one of them was a cityscape, and that was actually going to be another book in the Mortal Instruments because they do have this kind of cityscape on the spine of them. And it also happens to be one of the prompts for Realmathon for me to find books with buildings or cities on them. So I was putting that one up there. And then there was another one that had a clock on it. And that was supposed to be for Midnight Ruin by Katie Robert, which was the newest book in the Dark Olympus series, which I do need to get to at some point. But the majority of you guys chose The Star. And The Star is the second book in the Guardians trilogy, which I started by Nora Roberts, and that is The Bay of Sighs. In this, we are following 3 men and 3 women who are kind of brought together by some sort of calling, if you will. And they have these myths and legends about 3 goddesses who gifted these stars of like wisdom, beauty, whatever, to this young queen eons ago, it seems, and that there was a darker goddess that took offense or wanted the power for herself. So she has been kind of kept in hiding, but she seeks the stars as well. And so she is kind of the adversary or villain in this story, while these 6 mortals in this contemporary regular world are trying to hunt for these stars to basically find a way to give them back to the goddesses before all hell breaks loose. It was very interesting. I have read a few, I've read the Nora Roberts, was the Dragonheart Legacy, and it was interesting. I did like the world building, but it kind of fell through for me on a few other parts. This one, the first book, loved the pace, loved the relationships, liked the female characters, and the female lead, which was rare for me because I hadn't been liking the female lead in her other series. So I went and I got these. You see them in a recent book haul. And so now I have all the books in the series, so I'm going to be getting on that. And you guys chose book 2 with the stars. So this is going to be the final book in the Final Book support group for me to read this week. So with that being said, this is kind of what we're looking at. You can kind of see that cityscape with the books, with the Mortal Instruments character. I mean, it looks cool. That's why I got the paperbacks over the hardbacks. I just liked them and thought they were prettier. But hopefully we'll be able to tackle those this week. I know that the past couple of readathons, I have not been completing my list, and I need to. I need to start. I mean, I've been doing good book count wise, but I would really love to just accomplish and be like, haha, I did the whole TBR. But yeah, so we're gonna go get that and try to do as much reading as we can that week. I think this is the first readathon that's been a week-long readathon where my kids are actually in school instead of at home. So that might actually be to my benefit for this one. I mean, I love my babies, but you know, like, I want to read these books. So we're going to see what we can get done. And like I said, this month it is going to be a week-long readathon. It starts on the 18th and goes through to the 24th. So hopefully you guys are feeling up to the challenge, and maybe you guys will join up as well. If you do, let me know your thoughts on what you're going to be reading. If you've read any of these books, let me know how it went for you. Try to keep it spoiler-free because I really want to not know. I don't want to know. But let me know if you liked them or not. If you guys are reading something different this month, let me know what you guys are reading. I know St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. We will be cooking, the normal corned beef and cabbage, cliched meal, but we love it. So we're going to be doing that. Let me know if you guys are doing anything for St. Patty's Day, if you guys celebrate it. I don't know if that's just an American thing or not. Who knows? But we will be doing that. And then I will be tackling books. So I hope everything is going well for you. I hope that spring is bringing warm weather your way. For those of you who are fellow allergy sufferers, I feel for you. But I hope it is a nice, easy allergy season for you and that things will go well. And with all that, I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.